actually hinted in the direction I was going to go. I'm looking at your list of conceptual shifts. And the point, or the question I wanted to raise is, can't these all be applied across the board to almost every subject area our students engaged? And aren't their skills going to be improved through applied learning, through integration of, just the whole methodology that challenges curriculum to be relevant to how learning is experienced in the real world? And I think that's a shift we're engaging in now, and I think our whole assessment system is really challenged by that shift, and you've indicated that. So if you have any further comment, I'd welcome it, but I'd also love to have a further conversation with you about that.
I would be happy to. The nice thing about those shifts is, some of them came from the NRC, but many of them really bubbled up organically from the states. The states would say, you need to make sure people know about this. John in Minnesota in particular was strong about making sure that engineering was very prominent. But also this idea about the application of knowledge. They could be applied across the board. I think the issue in science is that unfortunately we reduced much of science to use the education language, we reduced it to a word wall many years ago. That it became a list of words and a list of things to be memorized. And, I have 2 kids, and it just kills me when my daughter comes home and says, oh, I just hated science today. And it's because, they are, there's this list of words that they have to look up. And I always will remember the one teacher that told me a story when I was back in Georgia that a colleague of hers had given their kids this list of words to find the definitions for. They looked them up in the glossary, they turned them in, but this one student did not have their book that day, so they said, go get one out of the back. And it meant so little to them, they picked up the Spanish version of the book and never even paid attention to the fact it was not in their language, and wrote the definitions and turned it in. And the kid was not being a smart aleck. The kid literally was checking the box, I've done it. And we have got to get away from that. This application of knowledge is critical. And you'll have people who are the old guard who still believe there's a set of things that you just have to memorize. But what we know from learning research is, I still, after I've not been in the classroom in 10 years, my son's in AP chemistry, and he will text me when I'm away and say, what's the molar mass of, or the atomic mass of whatever? I can still tell him. I still know the atomic mass of iodine, 127.9. I didn't sit and memorize that. I used it because I was a chemist. And so we know so much more. So yes, I absolutely would 100% agree that those shifts can be across the board, but in science I just think they're particularly important because it really is a difference in how we've treated science through the last 20 years.
Dr. Pruitt, as you were speaking, I was thinking of my son, who's a senior in high school, and his strongest course is in chemistry. He has no interest going into chemistry. He has a strong interest in economics, social, entrepreneurial, very much an activist, very active activist as a young man. And I encouraged him consistently to think about what science can be for him as an activist, as an engaged citizen. And the thought I have as you were speaking is, unless we really focus increasingly on this nexus of practice and content, and we began our session this year by, as members know, having a discussion with Iredale High School, which was an early college model that has a heavy infusion of both content and practice for students. The thought I have is that, and I suspect this is what keeps you up at night as well, is if we use my son's story, perhaps, how much we're letting just go by and not have, by not creating the kind of structure that facilitates, that combination of those interests and those aptitudes to create God knows what, that can make our society better. I really want to thank you for your testimony today, for taking time to be with us. Thank you, Simon, for helping us tap into this national knowledge base, and thank you for the work that you've been about, and I look forward to our continued association.
Thanks very much.